Hello and welcome to the channel. Today I'm finally doing the full setup guide for how I play Hogwarts Legacy on Android using GameNative. GameNative lets you run supported PC games locally on your Android device, rather than cloud streaming them. So getting the setup right makes a huge difference. In this video I'm going to show you everything I use: my device, my container settings, my in-game settings, the mods I recommend, and a few fixes for common issues in case the game is crashing, stuttering, or refusing to launch. So, without any further delay, Leah here, let's dive into it. Before we jump into the settings, just a quick reminder of what this actually is. This is not a native Android port of Hogwarts Legacy. This is the PC version running through GameNative on Android, which is exactly why the right driver, Proton or Wine build, resolution and graphics settings matter so much. And because this is a proper PC game running on a phone, your results are always going to depend on your hardware, thermals, storage speed, and the exact GameNative version you're on. So think of this video as a strong starting point, and then you can tweak from there. First, let me show you the device I'm using for this setup. My device is the powerful iQOO15 Ultra, using the latest Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, with 24 GB of RAM and 1 TB of storage. You'll want a fairly powerful device, plenty of free storage, and good cooling, because Hogwarts Legacy is one of the heavier games you can try in GameNative right now. Now let's get into the full container setup I'm using for Hogwarts Legacy. Let's open the settings page and have a quick scroll through all the settings. These are the settings that gave me the best balance between image quality, stability, and performance on my device. If you're using a different Snapdragon chip, a different driver, or a different screen resolution, you may need to adjust a few of these values. A quick tip here: don't change 10 things at once. If you're troubleshooting, change one setting, test it, and then move on, because otherwise it gets really hard to know what actually fixed the problem. Now let's jump into the in-game settings I'm using. My current Hogwarts Legacy settings are as follow. For me, the goal is not max graphics or max frames, but a good balance between them. Since my phone has the chipset and RAM for it, I push the graphics a little bit more. The goal is a stable, playable experience with decent image quality and good enough responsiveness during combat, exploration, and flying. If Hogwarts looks too soft, I usually start by checking the upscaler and sharpening. If it stutters too much, I lower the internal resolution first before I touch anything else. My GameNative in-game settings menu looks like this. I use FSR and frame generation to achieve the balance I told you before. Now let's talk a little bit about mods. Since I'm using the PC version of Hogwarts Legacy, I can go on Nexus Mods and find some that fit my preferences. I'm currently using the Better Broom Controls mod. Since I play with a controller, this mod helps me a lot. And another very useful mod is Shader Compilation Removed mod. It allows me to skip the huge loading at the beginning of the game, and it's also helpful to fix a problem that I'll explain in a bit. The last mod I recommend you check out is the Ascendio 3 mod. It's a performance tweak mod that can help you squeeze a little bit more frames from your game. A quick note on this mod: I was only able to install the manual version since the automatic installer one doesn't run for me. I try to keep my mod list pretty light, especially on Android, because the more things you stack on top of the base game, the harder it becomes to figure out what's causing crashes, long loads, or broken visuals. So my advice is simple: add one mod at a time, test it, and always keep a clean backup or a clean baseline setup in case you need to roll back. Before I end the video, Let me go over a few common issues and the fixes that helped me. If the game is not launching, the first thing I check is the driver or the FX preset, and whether the container is using the exact settings I know work. If the game launches but performance is awful, I usually lower resolution first, then test a different driver, and only after that start changing deeper settings. If you're using the Epic version, this one is important. GameNative 0.9.2 notes specifically called out Epic de Novo support for Hogwarts Legacy, and noted that you may need to sign out of Epic and sign back in after updating. If your game crashes at the shader compilation screen, install the mod I talked about earlier, or simply open your container in GameNative and go the C drive, and under the Program Data folder, delete the Hogwarts Legacy shader cache folder. Unfortunately, I haven't found a solution for the loading screen crash that happens from time to time, so before any fast travel or entering a new map, I save the game. A quick, fresh restart of the game allows me to pass that loading screen. If the image looks blurry, look at your upscaler, sharpening, and internal resolution. If the game feels smooth but input latency feels bad, try testing your frame generation, your FPS cap, and whether your current settings are just pushing the device too hard. And with all of that done, this is what the game actually looks like on my setup. For me, this has been the best balance I've found so far between visuals, playability, and stability. It's still not perfect, but the fact that Hogwarts Legacy can run like this on Android through GameNative is honestly kind of wild. And with every new update it gets even better. So who knows what the future might hold. So yeah, that is my full Hogwarts Legacy setup for GameNative on Android, container settings, in-game settings, mods, and a few fixes for common problems. I hope this helps some of you get the game running better on your own devices. If you're already playing Hogwarts Legacy through GameNative, let me know what phone you're using and what settings are working best for you. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, Leah out.